Oops. Well, hello everyone. I was not planning on starting like this, but here we are. Accidentally hit the button. Anyway, welcome. Hello and welcome to another episode of Made by Mac. I'm Mac and this is my channel. This is where I talk about knitting projects, and crochet designs, sometimes knitting designs too, some spinning projects, my resin hook Etsy store, and any other crafty things that I get into. And it has been a long while and I have a lot to talk about. So let's go ahead and jump right into my introduction and what I'm wearing. I live in the Midwest with my husband and 2 dogs and 3 cats. And right now it is in that weird transition period of time where it's not quite summer anymore, but it's also not quite fall. It's not sure that it's fall yet. So like today I'm able to wear like this very cute cozy sweater that I finished recently, which I'll talk about in a second. But there are definitely days where like I still want to wear a tank top because it's still like 80 degrees. But Indiana is weird like that. So but I really like this period of time because I can still wear some of my summer makes that I finished up or that I'm really loving. And then I also have opportunities to wear comfy, cozy sweaters and cardigans and stuff as well. So I really love the fall. And I'm really excited to get to wear some long sleeve stuff and pull that stuff out of my closet. So that brings me to what I am wearing, which is this absolutely perfect sweater. This is the Cozy Classic Raglan by Jessie Martinson. I used, I don't remember how much. It's in my Ravelry though. So if you want to be friends on Ravelry or just creep on me without being friends, I guess that's okay too. My handle is MacDye with no spaces or other weird stuff in it. And you can go creep on this. I used some yarn from Hobby Lobby, and I try not to use yarn from Hobby Lobby for a couple of different reasons, but I already had this and I needed a neon pink sweater, so this worked out well. I used, I think, just over 4 skeins of yarn because I still have quite a big ball left over that I didn't use all of. So if I were to make this again, I could probably get away with 4 skeins and just make my sleeves a little shorter. We're gonna go into a tangent just immediately, I guess. I found out when I was designing my first long sleeve sweater pattern last year that I actually have a wingspan, so like tip of my finger to tip of my other fingers, that's 2 inches shorter than the average person, my height, which is why I was having some issues with designing the sweater pattern, the sleeves on it, but that's all fixed in now that I know that. But I think next time I would maybe just knit to the length that most people wear this sweater at, right? So I could probably get away with like just 4 balls of yarn. But I love this. It's perfect. I am obsessed. It blocked really well. I did not fade one skein into another, so you can see like there's like kind of a line on my sleeve and it doesn't really match this one, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I do not care. I don't care at all. It's variegated enough that honestly, like, unless you're a knitter and you like are like, oh wow, she didn't fade in that last skein, like no one's gonna notice. It's also, I'm gonna be honest, it also looks significantly more prominent on camera than it does in real life. So if you see me wearing this in real life and you have an issue with me not using or fading my skeins or whatever, like just keep your comments to yourself because I don't care and I love this so much. So anyway, I love this. This is my 3rd time making this sweater pattern. Is that right? I made a green one that was alpaca and mohair, and it's a size small. So I don't wear it very often because it is very fitted. And the mohair is like a mohair and acrylic blend instead of like a mohair and silk blend. And it's, I thought I would love it and I love how it looks, but it right now it's not something that I wear. This is also a size large for reference, because I wanted it to be, have positive ease. And then I made another one out of like 4 colors, and it was like kind of sunset colors and color blocking. I faded it a tiny bit for like 4 rows, but like that was it. And then this is my third one. I think it's my favorite one. And if I made this again, I think I would do the exact same thing, other than maybe shorten my sleeves like the tiniest bit. But I love it. I love it so much. It's perfect. Yeah. If you want to see like, I don't know, like needle sizes and stuff like that and yardage use, go on my Ravelry, because I'm going to be honest, I finished this long enough ago that I do not remember. So, because like I said, it's been like a month since I like filmed. So, but I love this a lot. It's perfect. 10 out of 10. And I always recommend Jessie May's patterns for beginning knitters, because whereas some patterns are just like, do this, and it's like this amount of instructions, hers are like this much. So you can't possibly be like, I don't know what she means by this. Like, it's very clear, it's very thorough. And I like aspire for my crochet pattern designs to be that thorough for beginning crocheters. So anyway, I love this. I'll probably wear it more often. You'll probably see me wearing it more often, but I do need to get like official finished object photos of it, because it's hella cute and I don't have any like full pictures of it. So anyway, so that's my first like 100% finished object. So let's get into what other things I've finished recently. Okay, the other thing that I talked about being almost done on my last podcast was my Lake Wake tank. It's kind of hard to say if you're not looking at it. In like that, like off-white with sparkle cotton. Well, at least that's what I think it is. And I'm going to be honest, I haven't blocked it. I haven't woven in the ends. And I'm going to be even more honest, I don't know if I will. It's not perfect. It's a little bit off from what I was trying to design. So I may eventually, oh, you can see my little white streak. I have like a little clump of white hairs that like pop out every once in a while, which is cute. Sorry. I really like them, by the way. They're cute. Sorry, distracted. But I think I may end up frogging and redoing that, that top. I don't know. I haven't decided. It's one of those, like, I've cut the yarn a lot of times. So it also may end up being something that I like finish and then give to my sister, because it's a little bit smaller than I wanted, and she's smaller than I am, and it would look hella cute on her. So I've said that twice. Maybe I should stop saying that. But that one will be finished eventually. It's just not finished right now. The other thing that I have finished is also pink, and it is this adorable moon pillow. I love it so much. It just makes me giggle. It makes my heart happy. So the lovely, the elegant, the wonderful Chelsea of Knitting Tipsy is hosting a magical make-along for her Ko-fi members. And if you don't know what Ko-fi is, it's basically like, I don't know if all creators use it this way, but she uses that as like a subscription service. And if there's different tiers you can like be subscribed to and pay for or whatever. And excuse me. And she basically creates content, hosts events, and does all this fun stuff for her Ko-fi members. And it's great. Well, she decided this year to host a magical make-along. In the past, she's done a granny scare-a-thon, so like granny stitch make-along in like the fall near Halloween and stuff. And then before that, it was, actually, I don't remember the order. I've had some sleep deprivation stuff recently. I'll talk about that in the live stuff. But anyway, she's done a granny scare-a-thon for granny squares. And she's also done a like spooky sock knit along or crochet along thing. I don't remember which one was what year, but anyway, the point is she's doing a magical make along this year for just her Ko-fi members. So it's going to be a little bit more intimate, but it just started like last week. So if you want to join, like everyone in any tier is allowed to participate. So if you're like, oh, that sounds really fun, but I'm not part of her Ko-fi, like you should go join. We're so much fun, I promise. And Chelsea is delightful, and the whole group is just a lot of fun. So if you are interested, go do that. And then you can join us on this magical make-along. So for the magical make-along, I had all these glorious plans, and I was so excited. And I still have those glorious plans, and I'm still so excited. But in the past, let's think, in the past week and a half, I've had a bit of a time. Like, there's been a lot going on in my life, which again, I'll talk about later, but we had a cast on party last Sunday. Actually, when you're viewing this, it'll be 2 Sundays ago, to like celebrate, yay, we're starting this magical make along. We're all so excited. We're going to do a Google Meet and like hang out and all this stuff. And it was so much fun. But because of some of the stuff that had been going on in my life, I was like, I don't know if I have the bandwidth and like brain power and emotional stability to start like a sweater pattern or work on a sewing pattern while we're doing this, because I'm not chill and I have a knitting, a crochet, and a sewing pattern all in mind that I want to complete during this magical make along. And I was like, I don't know, I don't have anything ready for any of those. I have all the materials, but none of my yarn's caked up. So I was like, I don't know if I can do this. So I was like, I want to find something fast and easy. I just hit myself in the face. It's been one of those days. I want to find something fast and easy that I can make while we're doing this make along to celebrate the magical make along and to be included. And so Chelsea lovingly created a little Ravelry bundle with a bunch of magical themed, I guess is the best way to put it, but magical themed, magical adjacent patterns that are crochet and knit that people could look through and get inspiration or use for the magical make along. And I had bought one single skein of like electric pink blanket yarn from Joann's like 2 days before, and I was like, this is the only one that they have. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but it's beautiful and perfect and I love it. And so I brought it home with me. All I went for was for thread. And did I get other things? Obviously yes, I got other things, but anyway, so I made this. This is a long story just to say that I made this moon pillow. It blends in with my shirt really well, and so this is just going to be the magical pink episode, I guess. But look at how cute it is. The color is literally called Electric Pink. The yarn is Big Twist Plush. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong. If I haven't corrected myself, assume that that is correct information. And I used almost all of it. Here, hold on. I'll show you what I did not use. Sorry. You're gonna have a very close up of my sweater, I guess. This is all I had left. Because I think the pattern only makes it to like here, but I used a different brand of yarn. So I was like, you know what? It looks like I'm gonna have enough to make this a little bit bigger. So I just kept following the pattern, like the pattern of increases, and I didn't stuff it very well down here, but just don't look at that part. So I just kept going, and then until I thought, okay, I have enough to seam it. And spoiler alert, I did not. So I had to rip back my entire seam from like here, because I ran out of yarn right here, like out of yarn. Like I was like, I have 2 inches. There's no way I can get to here and weave it in. So that was disappointing, but it's fine. So I ripped the seam out. I undid 1 row and then I re-seamed it. And so now I have a little bit of extra, but like it was not enough to get another row. So I used up all I could, and then I had like 3/4 of a bag of polyfill left over, just happened to be in my stash of scary random things in my craft room, and I filled it as full as I could, and I was like, great, I've used up polyfill. And then ironically I had to have my husband go buy polyfill for a different project, which felt a little silly, but it's okay. But it's done, it's beautiful. Some of my little magical friends suggested some things to make it more magical, and I did those things. and I love it. And if you're interested, let me know. But I love it. I love it so much. If I could have my entire room, my entire craft room be this color pink without like distorting colors of things when I take pictures or videos, I would paint the entire room this color. But anyway, so that's my other finished object. I know this was supposed to be like a short video about it, but it's so cute. I love it. So there's that. Hopefully I remember to put like the name of, it's just called Moon Pillow, but I don't remember who it's by, so hopefully I put that in there. But if not, it'll be linked below. Definitely recommend this yarn, by the way. It was very easy to work with. I've definitely used blanket yarn that like snaps sometimes, which is maybe the most frustrating thing in the world. It could also be because I like crochet really tightly, and I'm very hard on my blanket yarn when I'm making like plushies and stuff, or pillows or whatever. So, but this held up really well, and it's like the polyfill is not gonna escape it, and it was really easy, and I love it. So there's that. I'm gonna try to be a little bit more efficient with my whips, because that was a lot of me talking about a moon pillow for like almost 10 minutes. Maybe I edited it out, who knows. So I think I'm gonna go in order of closest to being done to furthest away from being done. So this is the slip on your shoulder. Mine's gonna be a tee, but it is a sweater pattern. And it's got this cute little detailing, slip stitch detailing on the shoulder, which makes sense, right? And this is by my lovely friend MC of Blame the Knots. My yarn, okay, listen, it's gonna look really cute, but right now it's just so wrinkly because I'm using yarn that I frogged from another project. But you can see, maybe if I can get my act together over here, where I started using not frogged yarn down here at the bottom to finish it up. And so this is hopefully what it looks like when it's done, and it'll be less wrinkly. But I'm almost done. I'm so excited. I literally have started the ribbing on the bottom, and then my husband and I had to change plans for today of what we were going to do and what order and stuff. And I was like literally trying to knit this as fast as I could. And I was like, I can finish it by the time I start recording. Lies. So anyway, it's very cute. It's going to be a little T pattern. It's going to block out and be even prettier. And last time I told you, ignore all the needles that are hanging down. And now I'm telling you, ignore all the ends that are hanging down. But it's going to be really cute and really comfortable, and I'm really excited to wear it. So hopefully this is like done and blocked. Well, it will be done and blocked by the time I film next, because I'm like so close to being done and the test is due before then. But maybe I'll be wearing it next time that I film. But it's turning out really well. The test ends in like the next couple weeks, so that's exciting. And as of right now, yeah, I had to double check my brain for a second. As of right now, I believe that the pattern is supposed to release on my birthday. So I will definitely post about it. But it's very cute. I really love the color. I was not enjoying it as like, I was like, man, why did I buy this? And then as soon as, this is really silly, because I was like, I feel like I liked this a lot more the first time I knit with it. Well, once I started knitting with this, I was like, oh yeah, I really like this. So I anticipate that I will like the whole thing a lot better once it's like actually done. But it is, the pattern itself is like easy to understand, and it's very fun, and it's a very creative way to like join all the top bits. Sorry, MC, that is not a great way to describe your pattern. But it is really smart in how she like designed how to do all of this stuff. And I am learning that I really think that I like doing short rows on the sleeves. So that's really exciting. But I'm almost done. You can kind of see that I've started the ribbing down at the bottom. I have like what, 3 rows in. So I have like maybe 11 to go plus the bind off. And I've been measuring, and I will have exactly enough to do this. So I'm really excited. So that one's almost done and should be done and maybe on my body. Maybe I'll be wearing it next time we talk, hopefully. If not, it's probably just because I've forgotten to wear it for the video. But I'll show you next time at least. So there's that. My next almost finished object is in a bucket below. Okay. I literally, you guys are going to laugh. You're going to be like, I thought this was like coming out this week. Well, it was. And then my testers and I needed more time. Not because there was anything wrong with the pattern, but apparently life just happened on all of us, which is totally fine. And I don't have a problem with that. Like, I don't mind extending stuff. I think if I was doing a pattern for like a magazine or something, I'd be a little bit more concerned, but it's fine. But I just finished the back panel for my, wow, you can't see where the V is at all. There we go. I finished the back panel for my Funfe-TEE, which is my pattern that's in testing currently. And I'm going to be honest, I could have gotten this whole thing done, but then once I decided that we needed to push back the deadline for this, I literally just like set it aside and worked on the slip on your shoulder tee instead. So, or slip on your shoulder sweater, instead of like rushing to get this done. Why are there knitting needles in that bucket? This is a crochet project. Okay, I don't know why those are there. Hold on, let me throw them. Okay, anyway, so I'm almost done. I just realized too that I showed you inside out, so let me try that again. Sorry. So there was the back. Here's the front. Oh wow, the V looks so much nicer. So excuse me. I'm going to add sleeves and then the lace at the bottom and that'll be done. And I have plenty of yarn to do that. So, oh my gosh, sorry about that. You ever just like choke on your own spit and then you got to take a minute to like recover? You weren't drinking anything or, yeah, okay, so sorry about that. But anyway, I promise I'm not crying. It was just because I was like coughing a whole bunch. But I have a ton of yarn left over, so I'm going to be fine. Oh, got to cover up the eyes thing. You can see the yarn. And I'm using the color Cheeseburger in Paradise from Olive and Two Ewe. Which I know I've mentioned this a lot, but I just like mentioning it again, is yarn that I bought with my friend Chelsea of Knitting Tipsy and my friend Shannon of Crafty Luna Creations in Florida when I went to visit my sister and got to meet up with them. It's so fun. It's got like a chartreuse, an orange, a magenta, and a blue in it. Yeah, and I love it a lot. And I'm using one of my resin hooks in the colorway orange something. Wow, that's embarrassing. Okay, anyway, I'm using my listen, I told you guys my brain is not with us today. Like the lights are on, no one is home. I am on autopilot right now. But anyway, hopefully I remember to put it up on the screen. That's embarrassing. This is one of my handmade rose. Oh my Lanta. Okay. This is one of my handmade resin crochet hooks that are in my Etsy shop in this orange color. And this is a 3.5. And it is so pretty. Hold on, we gotta do the eye thing again. The only problem is then I want to peek so I can like see what it's looking like on camera. But anyway, I have this in made to order and I think I still have maybe 2 or 3 already ready to ship. And they're so much fun. I love them. And I'll talk about my collection that's come out since we last spoke later on. But I'm using one of those, which I really like because it matches the orange pops in the yarn. So that will be done soon and will be done by the next time I film. Ooh, so which one will I be wearing? That'll be, I don't know. I don't know which one I'll be wearing, but both of those will be done by the time we talk next. My next almost finished project, but is still a whip and is going to be even more of a whip because unfortunately, I'm going to rip back. I know. I've only been working on this for like so freaking long. So freaking long. And I really just want it to be done. But it's basically... Sorry. Ignore the screaming. I'm fine. So this is the Everyday Bralette by... I don't remember, but I'm sure I'll put it up on the screen. It's the one I've been working on for over a year. It's a bralette. I don't know why I haven't finished it, okay? But I'm so stupid. First of all, I'm not stupid, but I'm very frustrated with myself. I was forcing myself to work on this, and I got all the way to the point where I'm like, perfect, ready to bind off for the back. And I followed the directions to bind off for the back, but I did it backwards. So it's rolling. It's like this part. These are not cords. This is supposed to be done. This is supposed to be laying flat. But I bound off for the back the wrong direction. And I didn't realize it until I was done. And I was like, oh, it's going to be fine. And it's not. And I thought I could deal with it or whatever. And so I just like kept going. And I was like, it'll be okay. It'll be fine. It's so cool. I'm chill. But I'm not chill. I want it to be correct. But the plus side is I really like how this part worked up. So all of that's going to get ripped back, frogged, if you will. I'm going to have to redo it, which it's my own fault. It's not the patterns. I literally just did it the wrong way, which is incredibly frustrating. But it's almost done. I don't want to say like, oh, it'll be done the next time I see you, because we know how long this has taken me. This was like in one of the very first episodes that I showed you, and I'm still not done. On the plus side, I do think it's going to fit perfectly because I've made some very tiny modifications. I'm using a yarn that's like really stretchy, but I would like really like for this to be done. And there's like, because I realize I'm going to have to frog, I've put it aside. But that's probably like maybe a week if I work on it every day. But who knows if that will actually happen. So there's that. Who knows? But hopefully that's done soon so I can like wear it and stuff. So next thing I'm working on is a new project that I cast on. So I have all these projects, right? And sometimes, because I'm a coach for cross country and track in the spring, but right now it's the fall, so it's cross country, I like to knit on the bus ride there because this is really silly, but I get some anxiety as a coach. I have so much more anxiety coaching than I did as an athlete because I ran cross country and track in high school and in college. And I have so much more anxiety because like as an athlete, I remember thinking, well, I'm in control of my own race. Like, and like I am confident in my own training and all this stuff. As a coach, it's like, well, once the kids start racing, like I can't help them anymore, which is maybe a bit of a silly mindset, but you just go into meets hoping that you've prepared your kids well, that they are confident in their abilities, they trust the work that they've done, they're healthy, they race well, they have a good day. You want all of that for them. But truly, once they start racing, like that's out of your control. So sometimes on bus rides to meets, when I'm not driving one of the like little activity buses, I get anxious. And so I started taking knitting or crochet projects with me to kind of quell that anxiety a little bit and allow me to focus on something else if it's going to be a really long bus ride. And so I was like, I'm going to work on some stuff. And I started looking at what projects I had, and I was like, I don't have anything that is like easy to just pick up and take with me, except for this black bralette, which is, if it's like dark in the mornings on the bus, it is so hard to work on a black bralette on a bus ride, even if you have a neck lamp. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna cast on something else. So my husband like kind of mentioned like as a side note, like, oh, I'd love a yellow hat. And I was like, what, you want a yellow hat? Because this lovely man runs hot. Like, yeah, he's hot, but also like he runs, sorry. He is always warm. So like knitting a sweater is probably never going to be a thing for him. I crocheted him a sweater early on in our relationship, and I think he wore it once to like appease me, but I used like acrylic worsted weight yarn because I was still new to like making garments and stuff. And he was like drenched in sweat in like 2 minutes, and I like feel so guilty about it. But I don't, and I told him like, I love you so much, I would knit you a fingering weight colorwork sweater if that's what you wanted. And he wears anywhere from a 3XL tall to like a 4XL tall, depending on like the brand and stuff. So like, it's gonna be a big sweater that's gonna take me a lot of time. But he's like, no, like I'm gonna sweat too much, like don't do that to yourself. And I was like, okay. So I made him a blanket. I've sewn him a tank top because, you know, you gotta have clothes, and that's like more lightweight. But he mentioned that he would really like to have a yellow hat for when he's coaching football, because our school colors are navy and gold. And he's like, sometimes it's hard to like very quickly, like if you're on the field, if you're an athlete, to look over and find the coach you need to be looking at quickly. And he's like, I really would love to have a yellow hat for when it's colder and they can find me faster. And I was like, oh, that's really cute. So you can laugh at me and if you would like. So I'm making him a hat out of my yarn that I bought from Copper Centaur Studios a couple months ago in the colorway Chive Omelet. It's got the teensiest little green like sprinkles, right? Like just a little bit. Oh, and there's also a cat hair. That's not supposed to be in there, but it is because that's, you know, we have cats in here. So I'm making the Pearl Soho classic ribbed hat. So it's going to be really, really stretchy, which is good because he's got a huge noggin. I'm making the biggest size and hoping it fits. When we measured his head, it was like just a touch under 25 inches around. So I had to make sure I found a hat that was going to be stretchy and came in a size big enough for his head. So this should be fine. It looks really small now, but like, you know how ribbing scrunches up, right? So we both like bright colors. I don't know if he'd wear a full pink sweater, but I don't know, maybe. But he really loves this yellow. But I did I went up a couple sizes for the cast on because I didn't want, you know how sometimes if you do a long tail cast on, it's almost like tight and there's like almost this is the biggest you can stretch this, even though it's ribbing. And this was before my friend, this is before my friend MC taught me about alternating cable cast-ons, which I would have done that instead, but I also don't want to undo all this ribbing and start over, so it's fine. And once it blocks, it'll look fine. It won't look like this, like, flared. But that's his hat. And then after I started it, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should have asked him what he wanted the hat to look like. And he sent me a picture of like those, trying to think of the brand name, Carhartt double knit hats. And I was like, oh, so I like should have made a muscle burra for you. But I don't feel bad because I didn't have enough yarn for that. But I do have, I just pulled a loop out, but pretend I didn't. I also have this yarn, which is a little bit closer to our school colors. So once I'm done with this hat, or before if I'm feeling feisty, I'm going to make him a muscle burra out of this. And it'll be, what is the content on this? This is 75% acrylic and 25% wool. And that way if he gets really sweaty in it, because it'll be double knit, then he can just throw it in the wash and I don't have to worry about him like completely ruining a hat. So I'll let you know how we feel about this. But this is a little bit closer to the gold of our school colors, where we both work. So there's that. So he's gonna get not one, but two yellow hats. So there's that. And I think that's all of my current works in progress. I mentioned earlier, sorry about the sounds. I mentioned earlier that I am participating in the Magical Make-Along, and I made this here cute moon pillow. Well, I have other plans, and I want to mention some of my plans for when I get done with my Funfe-TEE and my Slip on Your Shoulder. I'm making myself finish those since those have deadlines, and then I'm going to cast on one of these projects that I'm going to talk about. So for the Magical Make-Along, because I am not chill. I try to be chill. I'm chill about some stuff. I'm not always chill about some stuff, like make-alongs and things that are being hosted by people that I know pretty well. So for the magical make-along, I want to complete at least one crochet project. And if I have to, I will count this. One knit project and one sewing project. I also was going to throw in a spinning project, but part of me truly was like, I don't know how to like not force fit, but I don't know how to get a spinning project that feels like it would fit for the magical make-along. So that one I'm not gonna worry about. But I want to show you some of my plans and then mention some of my other plans. So if you follow me on Instagram, go check out my most recent reel. I only have 2 as of right now. So where I talk about my mystical metals collection for my crochet hook shop. The fabric in the background is actually fabric that I bought specifically to make a dress for the magical make-along. My plan is to make a V-neck plain black layer with like a stretchy chiffon, and I have it like all folded and like neat and like packaged over there, so like there's no cat hair on it and stuff. So I'm not gonna pull it out, but just plain black, and then use the black with like celestial sparkles and glitter and all this magical stuff. I'll try and post a picture here. I'll scoot over so I can try and post a picture of what the fabric looks like as like I'm gonna use that to make like an overlayer, so either like a t-shirt or like a caftan shape, and wear that over top of the black one, and I think it will be so cool. My husband and I go to prom almost every year as like volunteer chaperones. We're not going as like kids because that'd be weird, but we go as like volunteer chaperones, and I think it would be really fun but casual enough, because usually the adult chaperones wear like dressy clothes, but not like, we're not wearing like prom dresses. But I'm like, it's a little sparkly, and I think it would be really fun to wear to that. And then if we have any other events that are a little bit more that require us to be a little bit more dressed up, because, you know, everyday high school teaching, I'm not wearing that kind of stuff. I have that as an option, and I just really think it would be really fun to make. So that's going to be my sewing project. I have a couple different crochet projects in mind, but I think the one I've landed on is I would like to make the Sexy Gone Cardi, or cardigan. No, it's Sexy Gone Cardi, by Chelsea of Knitting Tipsy, the lovely lady who is hosting this make-along. And it is so cute. I'm going to show you the picture of the cardigan that's in her pattern, but I'm not going to show you anything else. So look at how, first of all, look at how cute she is. And then also look at how cute this pattern is. So it is one of those hexagon cardigans where you like have this magical folding and then you seam it and somehow, bam, sleeves and cardigan. I am amazed by it. I love it. I don't know if I'm going to add the fringe, just because I had a cardigan with fringe on it once upon a time, and my cat like ripped all the fringe out as I was walking one time, like a huge chunks, and I feel like I just don't want to risk that, but we'll see. So if you're like, Max, stop talking about the cardigan and show us the yarn you want to use. Okay, I'm glad you asked. So this is also from Hobby Lobby, sorry. Whew. And it is a 100% cotton yarn, and it's called Sugar Real Cotton, and the color is called Sprinkles on Top. And I have a lot of these. Again, I have a lot of yarn from Hobby Lobby that I had in a stash, and then when I kind of learned some things about them that I a little bit disagreed with and would have preferred to buy yarn from somewhere else, it was like too late to return them. So at this point I'm like, okay, I'm just going to use these up on projects, but not necessarily use them to design things, which I feel like is a good compromise that I feel like a little bit better about. But I have a lot of these, 6 maybe, I don't know, but I have enough of these that I can make the cardigan, so I'm very excited about it. And I have 2 different hooks that I've pulled, that I've made that I'm considering using. One is a 4 and one is a 4.5. They're both in millimeters because I really don't know. This is a little bit thinner yarn than I think the yarn that Chelsea used to design it. So I'm going to swatch with both and see which one I like better. Because she mentions in the pattern that she's got dimensions and like measurements. So if you are using different yarn or a different weight yarn, you can just crochet using the pattern to get the measurements and then move on. So that you can still make the pattern even if your yarn is not the exact same thing she used. So anyway, the point is, I am using a misfit, I guess, or a crochet hook that I made in the colorway Golden Goddess, or Gold Goddess. And the reason this is a misfit is because you're like, Mac, where is the label? I was goofy and I thought, oh, hold on, let me hide the other hook. I thought I'm going to use a gold sticker on top of gold glitter. Why? That's not smart. So as soon as I did this, I was like, that's a little hard to see. And then once I put the last like layer over top of it, I was like, you can't see that at all. I'm not going to sell this to somebody. But I can't go back and take it off and replace it. So anyway, I promise there's a label on there. And if I squint, I can read it like right now, but I would not sell this to someone with this label on it because you can't see it. But this is one of the colors. The glitter is one of the colors in my shop called Gold Goddess from my Mystical Metals collection. They're all metal colors and they're all beautiful. This one is great, and I'm going to be honest, not a lot of people have bought this one. I feel like you guys are sleeping on the job here. It's beautiful. And I feel like the gold glitter that I use, sorry, I'm a little congested today, is almost a little bit more sparkly than some of the other colors. You didn't hear that from me. So that's one hook option that I'm going to swatch with. And the other one, because I'm debating even showing this, but I guess you guys can tell me in the comments if you like it or not. But because this is the magical make along and like some of the stuff is like witchy themed, I was like, you know what? I do have a hook that's in a size 4 that I made to look like a famous witch. So let me just show you. This is a hook I made and designed. Oh, I gotta cover up my eyeballs. Okay, there's a couple of blemishes in this, so just kind of ignore that because this is not one I would sell. But this is my hook that I designed to look like Elphaba from Wicked, and I love it a lot. You can see some of the blemishes down here, which is why this is before I like perfected my like formula and like process and all that stuff. But it's so fun, and I'm like, well, she's a witch. Maybe I need to use this for my project. But this is supposed to look like Elphaba from Wicked, which is my favorite musical. And I do, if you were wondering, have a Glinda colorway. But I have not moved forward in making those a like mini collection or whatever, because I don't know if people would be interested in them. So if you're like, oh my god, yes, or if you are interested in seeing other colorways from a cohesive collection I've had in my mind but haven't like for sure decided I want to do, please let me know, because I'm really proud of this, and I have some other, oops, I almost dropped it. I have some other colorways that go along with it that I think would be really fun. So, but I may be using this, which is a 4, or this one, which is a 4.5. So that's my crochet project that I've landed on and have everything ready for. I have some other things in mind potentially, but this is the one that I'm going to start with because I've been wanting to make this pattern for a while with this yarn anyway, and I feel like now is just a good time to push to do it. So that's my crochet plans. Sorry, I forgot that I can only film for so long before my camera does some weird junk and doesn't upload correctly. So anyway, I had to restart. But my knitting plans for the magical make along, I have a few. A couple of them are like Chelsea's patterns. A couple of them are other people's patterns. Some of them were patterns that Chelsea included in her Ravelry bundle that we could use as like inspiration. But I think I just realized that what I was about to say is like 2 cardigans, which is interesting. So anyway, one of my knitting plans is to make the Allison cardigan by my friend MC of Blame the Knots using, can I actually get this out? This is my second cabinet of yarn. Please don't judge. This little pink up here, either that one or using yarn called Big Twist Party, and it's like a pink color, and I also have a green color, and I haven't decided what color, which is why I'm probably not going to start with that project, because decisions are hard, you know, and it's hard to make decisions sometimes. But I'm realizing now that this is saying that I want to make 2 cardigans, which is a lot of knitting and crocheting, so we'll see how I feel on that one. But I also have saved, well, I already have the Boobaful Bralette pattern by Chelsea, and I have some different colors of True Boo yarn that I've thought about using to make that pattern, so that may be an option as well. But yeah, so I have a lot of different options, but I'll keep you posted on what I end up doing for my knitting project for the Magical Make Along. I have lots of yarn, and I have lots of patterns that I feel like would be magical. My other option that I've thought about doing is the Love Magic sweater by Disco Stitch with the like big bell sleeves in a very bright purple. So we'll see. Stay tuned on what I end up doing. But I'm definitely going to start with this crochet project when I get started on my next project. But I'm forcing myself to finish some whips before I get started on that. So, but those are my kind of future plans for the Magical Make Along, and I'm very excited about it. I've talked about it a lot because I've been loving seeing people's updates in our like Discord and stuff, and hearing people talk about it. And it was really fun to get to meet some new people in our cast on party. So I've just been having a blast, just thinking about and planning out my projects while finishing up my little moon pillow over here. So, but yeah, those are all of my works in progress and some of my like going to soon be works in progress, or like my plans for knitting and crochet projects that are upcoming. So finally, or I guess not finally, penultimately, second to last, I'm going to talk about some acquisitions. I talked about my moon pillow, and that was yarn that I bought. Also, I was struggling before filming to remember like what things have I shown you guys and what have I not, because it's been so long, but I don't think I've shown you this. I even double checked my notes from my YouTube video last time, and I don't think I've shown this, but if I'm really sorry if I have, but I also have no regrets either for showing it again if I am. So I bought some yarn from my friend MC, which is Blame the Knots, or who is Blame the Knots, and I bought 3. Oh, I'm loving this pink and green. But anyway, this is her DK base called, is it No Duh DK? Yeah, No Duh DK in the colorway Slimer's Favorite, and it is this glorious green. I love it so much. Her yarn also smells really good. Or maybe it's just the fact that it smells like yarn, like wool yarn. But this is a 75-25 blend of DK yarn. Here, I'm going to put 2 of the skeins down because I'm getting out of control over here. And I think that I'm going to make the rainbow sweater. Rainbow spelled REIGNBEAUX. I realized like as soon as I started spelling, I was like, I have probably put it on the screen. But if I haven't, the rainbow sweater, and I have a little mini set of DK weight, like speckled neon rainbow minis that I want to make into the rainbow part, and then use this for the rest of the sweater and make a short sleeve sweater. So that's my plan for these as of right now. That may change, but I really like this idea. And I love this bright green, and I think it would be super fun to have like a little rainbow sweater. So, so that's my first acquisition that has come in, or that I've bought since we spoke last. Let me plop those in my bucket here. my next thing was not a want, unfortunately. It was a need, and it is not put together yet. So if you're like, what the heck is that? I'll explain. I bought a wooden nitty knotty, and I had to buy a wooden nitty knotty because I absolutely loved the nitty knotty I had, the 3D printed one, but I snapped it because I was just winding my yarn onto my nitty knotty, like just moving along. I just realized I didn't share the yarn that I finished. You know what? It's okay. We don't always have to share everything. If you really want to see the yarn that I finished since we last spoke and that broke my nitty knotty, go onto my Instagram, and it's the one that is the Giddy Up colorway with my white Rambouillet mix. But it's really fun. I just forgot to share it. But there was so much yarn, and I was not paying close attention to how tightly I was wrapping the yarn around my nitty knot that all of a sudden the whole thing like made a crackling sound, like when you pour milk into Rice Krispies, but louder. And I was like, oh no. And then I was like, maybe I can get through this without it breaking all the way, and then I can hopefully fix it. And I only made it like another couple wraps, and then it snapped. So I was like, well, I have been wanting a wooden nitty knotty. Maybe this is my sign. Because I can't finish. I mean, I guess I could do like some old school version of wrapping yarn on something else, but I was like, I know how much easier a nitty knotty makes finishing yarn and putting it into skeins when I need to with my spinning. And so I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and buy another one. So that's one that I bought. I've not put it together yet. It came in about a week ago. So there's that. I will give you an update once I use it on how much I like it or don't like it or whatever. And I'll put information below and like where I bought it on the Etsy shop. But it is all wood. And it's just very simple. And I bought the 2-yard one because that's what I'm familiar with working with, and I think that I wanted to stay with the same size. So I bought a 2-yard nitty knotty. RIP my old one. Ooh, sorry. I'm dropping a lot of stuff today. And then I told you about the yarn that I bought from Joann's, the big twist yarn. Just a lot of pink stuff today again. And then I also bought some like notions for like sewing. Like I bought some thread and stuff like that. But more importantly, I found these little dudes in the crochet knitting section, like crochet hook and knitting needle section of my Joann's, and I was like, oh my gosh, no way. Here, I'll show you the back. These are by Big Twist as well. I'm becoming more and more a fan of their stuff. But these are point protectors for knitting needles, and they come in all these incredibly fun colors. And you guys, oh, this is fun. You can see like my ring light in this because it's really dreary outside today. Because like I keep calling it leftover hurricane weather, and that's not what it is, but you get the point. But look at all these fun colors. There's like neons, there's just a white one, and then there's one that's like confetti or whatever. And I love these, and I'm so excited. I literally have not been using them because I'm like, I don't want them to be on a project when I want to show my little viewers through YouTube. So I haven't used them yet, but they come with 20 of them, which I think is great. And it says they fit 3mm to 10mm needles. So I'm assuming, and it does look like they're completely, like the hole is like all the way through. So I do think they're basically like a little bead, but I'm really excited to test them out. So I think there was like maybe 1 or 2 more sets at Joann's. Sorry, there's like a fuzz on them. There's like 1 or 2 more sets at my Joann's when I bought these. So hopefully someone else has found them and snatched them up because they're cool. And I did check, they are on their online site and stuff as well. They were like $15, but I used a coupon. So hopefully they're worth it. And this is great because I am always losing my point protectors. Also, I have a sneaking suspicion that one of my cats, Temperance, is stealing them, because I found one on the floor the other day when I was stupid and left my, not stupid, when I was irresponsible and left my knitting project out in the living room. I normally put everything away in my craft room and shut the door before I go to bed, but my knitting project was missing the 2 point protectors, and I found one and it had like a bite mark in it. And I was like, well, both the dogs were in the crates last night, so, and then I found one of my cats like batting it around on our kitchen floor because we have hardwood floors. And so I think she's stealing my stuff. I think she's stealing all of my knitting notions. And I don't think she feels bad about it at all. So hopefully I can replace some of the ones she's stolen and have, I guess, bitten into and carried off to some little secret stash. I don't know. Maybe she's learning to knit. That would be so cute. Oh my gosh, that would be so cute. But anyway, so I bought these and I'm really excited about them. And I'll let you know if they're really like the most amazing thing or if they're really terrible next time. So, because I haven't opened them yet. So there's that. Is that everything? Oh, I have one more. Let me grab it. Okay, last acquisition is not something I bought, but something that one of my friends got me. So my friend Kayla of Kayla Makes It on Instagram and YouTube. I don't remember what her Ravelry handle is though. But anyway, I'll try and link her YouTube below if I'm able to do that. She kind of sent me some fiber because she said she bought it for a project and then she decided for whatever reason not to end up using it. And I've had her daughter in class, like she lives in my town, my city, whatever. And she has tested, I think, almost every single one of my patterns, and we actually got connected through my mother-in-law. And anyway, so Kayla's a really cool person and I love having her as a tester. She's phenomenal. She gives good feedback. She communicates well. Like she's everything you want in a tester. It's glorious. And she sent me this fiber. She had her daughter bring it to school for me. And she gave me 2 of these braids. And I know I just have like waxed poetic about neon stuff, but I also, in the fall, something happens in my brain and like, it's like, as soon as I take a sip of pumpkin spice latte, my brain's like, capsule wardrobe for autumn. And so I've slowly, over the past couple of years, been like making and buying and basically creating an autumnal capsule wardrobe. So it's all like what you would think of as autumnal colors. So like pumpkin orange and like olive green and like maroon, and I have like a little collection of clothes that are all those colors that I just love wearing in the fall, and they're cozy and cute and I love them. But anyway, and I have plans for more of those things despite what my cabinet of yarn looks like. But I was like, oh my gosh, this would be such a fun fall spin. So it appears as though it's like I was going to say palindrome, but that's for words, like a mirrored color. I think if I'm scared to unravel it because I don't know if I can put it back. I think it unravels all the way down this way. So I think these are the 2 ends and then this is the middle. And I have 2 of these braids from her. And so I'm going to see if I can do like a really cool fractal spin with this and maybe get like a really big skein or like 2 skeins of yarn. And maybe try and aim for like a DK weight yarn. I don't know what kind of wool this is, but it does feel like wool. And it's very cool. And I'm just really grateful for her for giving me this. I have an idea of what I want to do with this. But I don't want to say it on here in case I change my mind. But, or if it doesn't turn out. Which like failure is okay, but like also I do a lot of failure and I don't always want to be telling you guys stuff and then being like, this girl does not follow through on anything. So anyway, look how fun this is. Oh, and it's just officially fall last week, so I'm so excited to start spinning that. Oh my goodness, saying that, I realize I also have another spinning project that I want to show you. You know what? It's okay. I told you guys I have a lot to share. I'm just going to tell you about this one. So remember the white Shetland bat that my friend MC sent me? I started spinning that on my Nano, but it is still like hooked up and right next to my wall, and also it's not even done. So, and it's white. So just imagine a tiny little Nano bobbin here. Oh, look at this. It's so cute. Oh, we gotta hide it. Okay, right? Like pretend that whole thing happened. It's just a white yarn on a bobbin. But I will definitely show you when I'm done with that bobbin, or when I'm done with the whole spin. I don't know if I'm going to be able to cram it all on one bobbin or not. And then I have a plan for what I'm going to apply it with. Maybe oh, I have some Rolags from an Etsy shop called the Woolly Witch. Maybe that will be my spinning project for the Magical Make-Along. Okay, but anyway, I'm all over the place today. But I think that's all I have for acquisitions. If I've forgotten something, I don't know. Maybe I'll remember later, but I think that's all. So let's move on to some Etsy shop conversations. So my Mystical Metals collection released on September 6th. Is that right? Yes. So it's been a while. And I've had lots of people order stuff, which is exciting. But most people are ordering like a made to order option. So I did want to share what's still left in a ready to ship option. And we'll see if I don't drop them all. So I only have one copper color left, and it is the Cosmic Copper. Sorry, we'll see if I can remember all of the color names. I have Cosmic Copper in a 5mm. And for reference, today is September 29th, and this should go live Wednesday, October 2nd. Just for reference. So these may be sold out by then, I don't know. But this is what I have in my shop and ready to ship, and I usually can ship within a day, as long as the next day is not like Sunday, because then they're not going to pick up my mail. So I have one Cosmic Copper left. I have one Gold Goddess in a 5.5 with a readable label, unlike the one that I own, right? So you can actually read it. So cute, right? I have two Celestial Silvers, which I try to not let it bother me that like my desire to have alliteration is not the fact that Celestial starts with a C, but it's still an S sound. I try to not let that bother me. I know that's silly because it still works, but I have two Celestial Silvers in a 5mm and a 6. Can I show you both at the same time without dropping them? They're gorgeous. I made myself one as well in a size 2.75, which brings me to my point of if you want something in a size that's not listed, or something that I've had people request recently in a specific brand of hook, contact me through my Etsy shop, because I'll see it faster than you just like emailing me. And I'll see if I can do that. There's some brands I just can't do depending on the type of handle they have, but most of them I can. Like I can do Clover, I can do Tulip, I can do etc. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I wish she did like an inline hook with this brand, whatever, just let me know. I can usually get those. It may just take a little bit longer to get the base hook in. But yeah, I have two. What is this color? It's black. Oh my gosh. Mystical Midnight. Oh, geez, guys. Okay, I have a 3mm still in stock. Oh my gosh. Can you see the rainbow sparkles on this? Because I don't feel like you can. Oh my gosh, my nails are a mess too. Don't look at those either. I also have a 5.5. Oh, this one turned out like, I don't know how to describe to you that like, this one is so shiny and perfect, and like someone needs to buy it, because if not, I'm going to end up taking this out of my Etsy store and keeping it. And I do not need another 5.5. I already have a black hook, so that's fine. And then what seems to be people's favorite color, to be honest, which I'm also not surprised by because it's so good, is Rose Gold Ritual. And I have a 2, a 3, and a 5.5 on these ones. Can I? So like, just look at how good these are. Like, oh my goodness. And this rose gold is the color of like all of my rose gold jewelry that I have. So if you're like, but does it match? It does. It was a very long hunt to find the correct rose gold color, but I did it for you guys. So, so there's that. So that is what is in my shop from the Mystical Metals collection. So let me put those aside. And then, because I love you, YouTube viewers, I have a new collection. Do I want to show these? I'm not good with surprises, okay? So I'm just not gonna do surprises. I am gonna say this though, I don't know when this collection is coming out. It's probably not gonna be for a while, but I also would love to hear your feedback on the colors. So the other day, I'm sitting there, sorry, I'm trying to rearrange these so they're in the color order that makes sense, in the way I designed them. I'm sitting there going, you know what, I'm gonna pull all the colors that I want to try, and to formulate into like a collection of some sort eventually. And the colors I pulled out, I was like, oh my gosh, these would look really good as a collection. And I think I'm done designing this collection. And this has been like, do you ever have a project you're like, I really want this to work the first time, and then you're disappointed when it doesn't? Well, this is not that. It was perfect the first time. So this will eventually, I think, be my my hook collection based off of mythical creatures. I'm not going to tell you the names yet because I'm not 100% certain, but please just look at the colors. We're just going to do a sneak peek today. Like, oh my gosh, here, let me show you one at a time. How can I do this? Here we go. I'll just put them on my lap. So I've got this one, this pink color. I've got this purple, which you guys know me, I love pink and I love purple, and this one may be my favorite, right? I have this like ocean blue color, which may give you a hint into what mythical creature this one will be named after. I've got this one, which is so pretty. You guys, I was not planning on sharing these, and then they were just calling to me from over on my desk, and I was like, I need to share them. I have this bluish green, this teal, and then I have this green one, which is just, I don't know how to describe this other than a yummy green. I don't know if that's weird. It probably is, but I'm embracing the weird. So anyway, here, let me just jumble all these back up and show you like they're a little bouquet. I love them. I also have something in my eye, but I love them so much. They're gonna be so good. I'll be honest, if I get a lot of hype about them from people and you're like, oh my gosh, please release them soon, I will. I'm just trying to plan out when I release different things. And I have some other things in the works. I just honestly did not think these were gonna work as well, and the collection was not going to be as cohesive so quickly. So I don't know, I'm tempted to use these ones for my magical make along, but we'll see. I love them so much. So there's that. I am also working on a couple other collections, like I said, and those may come out sooner just because I've been working on them longer and I really want to release them. And I've had to make a lot of like adjustments and stuff, but these ones, oh my gosh. Here, how close can I get before it gets blurry? Like, can that be my like little picture? So anyway, I love them a lot. They're beautiful. They're gorgeous. 10 out of 10. They turned out perfect the first time. Slam dunk, as they say in the basketball sports world. what am I saying? Okay, so anyway, that'll be an upcoming hook collection based on mythical creatures. The names are really fun, and I'm really excited about them. But yeah, let me know how you feel about those. These ones won't be in the shop by the time this is released. That's for sure. But the Mystical Metals collection is in the shop. There's a made to order option, and the ones I just showed will be in the shop. That'll be ready to ship, and if you're impatient like me, you can get them like really quickly. And then I do still have some, not a ton, but some Summer Delights that my like neon pastel colors. Some of those are still in the shop as well. And then I still, all right, finally, I just want to kind of wrap this up and give you a brief insight into my life in the past couple weeks, because I know it's been a while. And if you don't care, you can just skip to the end of this if you want. But thank you for watching all the way up to this point, if not. So in the past couple weeks, it's been a little rough. Teaching has been, I feel like every teacher would agree that at this point in the year, we're about halfway through the first semester. Well, anyone that's on the same like school schedule. People that go to school at different points in the year, I don't know. But at this point in the year, we're halfway through the first semester. And it just starts to feel like a little bit heavier as we get closer to our first break. We have fall break coming up, where we don't have to teach. Students don't come to school. And it's been a little heavy trying to get there. My cross country season, since I'm coaching, is in full swing. We're getting close to our tournament season. So we have been having meets like every Saturday. My kids have been great though, so I've been really excited about that. I'm enjoying coaching a lot this year. It's been really enjoyable and a lot of fun. But all that aside, that's normal stuff. Abnormal stuff is that my lovely husband had some medical issues the past couple weeks. He's okay now. We're still keeping an eye on some stuff, but basically, long story short, he has had some really severe nosebleeds, which sounds not serious until you realize how much blood he's losing and how frequently he's getting them. And it was really scary. We had one ER trip, and so we did not go to sleep that night. We were there for a very long time. He is doing a lot better now. And I know some people have asked about him and made sure he's okay. He's doing fine now. But, you know, just some things that we have been dealing with and some stuff like that. I've had some... Hello?
Damn it. I thought you were done talking.
Nope.
I'm sorry.
Ironically, my husband just came in because he thought I was done filming, but he is doing fine. I've also had some medical tests that I've had to go through and some stuff, some meds or some changes that I've had to make to my life to be healthier and stuff like that, and to maybe deal with some of the issues that I've been having for the past couple years. The good news is we're both doing fine now. But it has been a few heavy weeks just like in the life department. So, thank you to everyone that's reached out about that. I really appreciate it. We are trying to kind of embrace some new changes to our lives, and are very thankful that we've gotten answers about a lot of stuff. So that's why I haven't been on here very recently, and why I haven't been very active on social media and stuff. Part of it's just been we've been tired dealing with some of this stuff. So we've needed a little extra rest, a little bit more time away from social media, away from people. So but thank you for your support this whole time. And I think that's it. So yeah. Oh, I also got a new tattoo, but you can't see because it's right here and my sleeve won't pull up that far, but I'll show you next time. Remind me. But all of that being said, I think we're on the upswing. I'm really excited about some stuff that's happening in our lives, in the next couple weeks and months. And, I also have some plans with some crafty fiber friends that will be happening in the next couple months as well. But for now, that's all I've got. So I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for listening to this, I'm sure going to be really long episode. Thank you for your patience while I've been away from the YouTube community. And thank you for your support, either just by watching this, by liking it and sharing it with friends, leaving comments, stuff like that. Thank you for anyone that supported my Etsy shop. I get so excited anytime anyone buys a crochet hook or a pair of earrings or a set of stitch markers. Also, along those lines, my birthday is coming up and I love celebrating my birthday, so there will be a birthday sale. So keep your eye on that, on both my Etsy shop and on my Ravelry shop with patterns and all that fun stuff. So, but yeah, thank you so much for watching this really long episode with all of my tangents and random stuff that I wanted to share. I really appreciate it. Appreciate your support. Please feel free to leave me a comment if you would like and have the bandwidth and capacity to do that. And I will talk to you next time. Thanks and bye.